Found out about his affair, basically got kicked out. My soon-to-be ex-husband, M27, deployed last year for 6 months. I, F26, obviously stayed behind in our apartment in SoCal and waited for his return. I'll reference my soon-to-be ex as, B. The small amount of friends I had were his friends and I had no family nearby. My sole purpose for being there was for him because he was my spouse. While on deployment, he was introduced to a girl from the army. He could have lied about her branch TBH, by a girl who I'd met and had hung out with before, who I'll reference as, C. He didn't wear the soft ring I'd gotten him and didn't tell her I existed or that he was married. I'll refer to his affair partner as, Z. For a month they exchanged nudes. He returned beginning of October and after a month of no contact, they began speaking again via Snapchat. I didn't find out until December when I jokingly asked for his phone after his location had been turned off earlier in the day. I'd assumed it had been an accident, but he immediately froze and refused to do so. Which immediately made me question him, asking what he'd done, which he wouldn't answer. He then went out to his car to speak to a friend, so casually in body language and tone, you'd think he was chatting about the weather. After this conversation, he had the guts to come clean. After hearing the extent of what had happened that he'd tell me, I stayed in a motel for the weekend, and after speaking to him, I stupidly agreed to stay on the circumstances he get therapy for his drinking problem, we get couple counseling and he get his ring tattooed on him. I know, I should have just left. My self-esteem was in the toilet due to his behavior towards me and his violence towards me when he drank. I realize now I felt like I'd be nobody without him and I didn't stay because of love. We start doing well again, he makes an effort to help around the apartment, and spend more time with me and be nicer. But around 3 weeks ago I started noticing distance. So C provided Z our address per B request and seemingly after she didn't have a ride is my guess, my soon-to-be ex, B, drove to base, picked her up from C's barrack room, drove her back to the apartment that was vacant because I was in a motel attempting to make sense of my heartbreak, and they watched a movie before he took her back to base. I saw their text discussing all of this happening and also saw a text from a girl he'd been talking to for 2 weeks that he'd met at the gym who he had told previously that he was married. Which I know, it's not on her to stop the attention she receives from a married man because he's the one I expect loyalty from, but girl, no integrity. I also discovered via laptop syncing after he arrived to the apartment Sunday morning and more recent text uploaded, that Saturday night, C had brought a female friend who had apparently shown interest in my spouse and he requested her number from C after liking the attention. During the confrontation of what I'd found, he didn't cry, didn't apologize, maintained eye contact and only said he realized he was a bad person and shouldn't be in a relationship. Continued to insist on helping with my things, to help pack them, take them to storage, implying with his words in text that he was staying and I was leaving. All the while I felt like my heart was breaking into two. I left Monday after refusing his help to move my belongings to stay somewhere safe after removing as much of my possessions as I could on my own and am now trying to obtain legal counsel. Will be reporting him to his command with the video proof I have of him confirming the affair started while on deployment, as well as request spousal support. Not sure whether to include the video proof I have of his drunken violence, choking me, yanking me around by my hair and calling me names, as I'm not sure if that'd get him a criminal conviction for domestic violence, which I'm not interested in doing so at the moment. 7 years wasted TLDR, spouse cheated while on deployment while I was all alone in a new state, practically kicked me out after being confronted. Did you like this Reddit cheating story? Please subscribe and leave a comment below.